this evening, number 9. Item number 9. It's a revised motion concerning Ryer's store. And it's in your folder.
Do I have it?
Mr. Giardino, in your folder this evening, item number 9. It's a motion, revised motion concerning the granting of a license to Ryer's store.
Is this correct?
Yes. Everyone a chance to find it.
So do we have to rescind the past vote, or?
No, you have to vote to modify. The original vote of the board was to vote a change in location. The Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission has gotten back to us and indicated that the appropriate vote, much to our surprise, is to call it an alteration of premises. So there's been a revised motion that we would vote this evening to the board's consideration that would make that happen.
Okay. Mr. Harris.
Mr. Chairman, I move to modify the vote of August 28, 2007, to grant an alteration of premises for Molly's Store, Incorporated, DBA Ryer's Store, 162 Park Street, for the package store / wine and malt beverage license, subject to all regulatory department requirements.
Motion made by Mr. Harris, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Mr. Giardino.
I just like to make my rather standard comment that, my wife works for the owner of Molly's Store, and she has no economic interest in Molly's Store, and I talked to town council, there's no problem with me voting on these issues. It's disclosed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Mr. Belcox.
If you refer to the town administrator report in your packet, I believe it's brown, beige paper.
Beige.
I think. Maybe not.
I think I got all my papers.
Maybe not. Is it beige? It would be in your packet this evening.
This is evening.
Yeah, no, it's in your folder.
Yeah, I know, but unfortunately, I managed to hold
Should be behind your...
No, Michael, I have scrambled everything up.
All right.
Still full for you.
I got it. Okay.
Look.
All right.
Number 1, the water department is informing me that they will be undertaking permanent repairs to the Andover water connection, and that'll begin at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. The plan is to complete all the necessary work in one day. It'll be an extended long day. If in the event the work can't be completed in one day, the water department has made provisions for a temporary water connection Tuesday night. And as was reported in the newspapers, the cost of this work is approximately $25,000.
And as was reported, it was just amazing that this is going to be above the ground.
Above the water. Above the water.
Above the water.
But within the available space that's in that culvert that goes over the Scud River at the end of the town line.
We have raised questions about winter ice and stuff.
And we're comfortable.
We're relying on
It's
that
a smaller diameter.
We're comfortable with the solution to put the pipe in the river again. Just means that it could fail again at some point going forward.
This work will come out of?
It'll be paid for out of the water department capital budget. They have a unused borrowing authorization. The amount that's unused is about $38,000, so it's enough to cover this permanent work without any further appropriation of town meeting.
And that will be paid for.
That'll be paid for and bonded out for water department revenues.
Yes, Mr. Bean.
Mr. Belcox, do we know yet if we're going to have to pay for that water that was lost?
We don't know.
We don't know yet.
We did submit a claim to our insurance company because it was our hope that the insurance company would cover the cost of the repairs. In fact, we heard back from the insurance company today they will not cover the cost of those repairs.
Do we know the cost of the water if we have to pay it?
No, and that obviously would be a subject to dispute, as Mr. Clark had indicated.
Okay.
We don't want to put any ideas where they shouldn't be.
No, I know.
We're going to take
We don't want to pay for the other leaks either.
That's right.
We'll take a closer look at it. We haven't had a chance to look at the letter in detail. They have to reference the exclusion policy. We'll take a look at that and review it. Number 2, I've already addressed. There's no reason to go back and review that again. Number 3, I've been exploring with the superintendent of the schools and the fire department the steps necessary to have North Reading designated as a heart-safe community. And some of the things that are part of that is CPR training for our employees and AED, which is defibrillator devices in public buildings. We think it's a good idea. And we think therefore some small money, it's money that's well spent for the community. So
This is not in any capital plan?
this is not in any capital plan, but it is something that the superintendent of schools and I both agree is something we should do. And we should have these devices in our public buildings. You see them in airports, they're pretty routine, a lot of communities have them. And if you have an appropriate level for the number of buildings you have and training, you have the designation of being a heart-safe community. And firefighter Batchel has been working with us in the fire department. So I think it's a good cooperative effort amongst the 3 departments.
Well, certainly something I can support.
Greg, would that mean that we would train every employee in CPR training? Or
Like
that
to
we
make-
have to? Is it
no
going to have an effect on
No,
contracts?
there's no requirement that we have to.
Yeah.
The goal is to have this be voluntary training. Once we mandate mandatory training, then that's an area we don't want to go in. We're hoping that employees will see the benefit of this and will step forward and volunteer that this is something that they'd like to do.
I know that it's, in order to be a teacher's license, you need to be trained in first aid of some sort, so I think
You know how to get what?
your teacher's license.
First aid,
You have to be first aid trained, so it could,
This
We would
this
be
equipment
big of a-
almost has a brain of its own, too, as they were talking.
Just push the button and listen to the instructions.
Exactly.
What kind of training is it? Yeah, how long does it take the training? Does it take,
Not really. They're in many places, do as you read the instructions, it says push the button, it comes on and it talks you right through what to do. Take a pulse, put the pads on, and then it goes to a sequence and it evaluates the patient, and then it tells you whether to shock or no shock. It tells you to go back to CPR. You find them all over the place now.
You know what the unit roughly costs?
That I don't know, I believe it.
yeah, that's fine.
It's, it might be maybe $2,000, $2,000 to $3,000. They've come down greatly in price.
Yeah.
And the fire department, I mean, as I understand, the battery charges are, they last until the battery wears out, so it's not like it requires regular charging or regular maintenance. And we'd have to put them, one of the things I spoke with the firefighter was to just look at all the public buildings and come back to us with the location and number, because we feel that's critical. We certainly wouldn't want to have them behind locked doors when they need it.
He's working and everything, yeah, we can maybe keep it away from.
Yeah, well, I mean, this building is used as a gym, and, you know, if it saves one life, it will pay for itself many times over.
Well, if you find them in cases, you have to break the glass or you lift the
Yeah.
glass up and lock them.
We're good.
So hopefully we get some either grant
This
money.
might be an April town meeting.
Well, hopefully we can maybe get some grant money or donations. We feel that for some small dollars, it's something that we can try to do. My last request would be to go to town meeting. I think we can try to work something out with community spirit. Okay, number 4 concerns a resident who did approach me, and I want to bring it to the board because he indicated that the town at one time had a forestry management program, which is the harvesting of timber on vacant municipal properties. I met with the resident. I thought it was a good idea. I think it's good to have a professional come in on a periodic basis and evaluate the timber, harvest some of the timber, which results in money coming to the town, but more importantly provides an environment where the forestry can thrive and can be used by residents of the community. Obviously, it's something that would require some thought, but I think it's something that may result in some money back to the town, and again, provide for access greater than what may exist on our lands right now. In a related note, one of the reasons that I caught this was the State Division of Conservation Resources provided a notice saying the state is doing this up in the Howell Park Forest, and there's a small portion of it that's in North Reading, and they are soliciting bids. right now to do that. So as a result of that letter, where they provided notice to the town of North Reading, it was something that we thought might be appropriate, given the fact that the town has significant tracts of vacant land where there may be some timber that can be harvested. And obviously, the person would come back, we'd have to hire a forester, an expert. That person would mark the trees and come back with some recommendations and say, this is what we'd like to do. The intent isn't to go through and clear cut property and say, that's the end of it. It's a very selective basis, and it's done by a professional who knows what he's doing.
A number of years ago, they were marking trees. I don't know if an expert was marking them, but then town citizens could go in and harvest the wood for their own
Yeah, I'm nervous about that.
heating. I kind of understood you were skirting around it, but that was what was
The idea
in
is
place
citizens would change
some time
something.
ago.
I'm nervous.
I think during one of our earlier energy crises.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, as part of this proposal, it could result in revenue to the town too. So it's a gain on both ends, and it provides the
I
town.
think when we did it before, it wasn't so much revenue generator other than the maintenance of the properties and the forest that thrive. And actually,
Those-
the
those
forestry
that did the
committee
work
at the time, forestry
benefited
committee
from
at the
that.
time was actually, and it's pretty knowledgeable people on there as far as how to do it and what to do. So it's a good idea.
We'll review the recommendation and be back in touch with the board.
I guarantee you, my neighbor and I will not, because we dropped a tree on my clothesline. Very good. Wasn't pretty.
No. No, it's-
Lucky it was only a clothesline.
Yeah.
The thing is, it was supposed to drop the other way.
Quick update on the phone system. Installation on the phone system at Town Hall will begin next week. And work on the police station telephone system was completed on August 29th. We did have,
Did that include the fire station?
the fire station work was not part of that first phase. The first phase was to get the police up and running.
I understood
The
that,
fire department will be the second phase.
which is when?
Rich can perhaps tell me if they're in there right now, Rich?
I'm sorry?
Are they in there right now doing any phone installations in your buildings?
No, they're not.
They're not there.
I asked Gene today, he was gonna contact the guy.
My understanding was they were gonna do that before we started town.
That's right. That's right.
When do you think that the phone, I mean, do you have a time frame the phone will be up and running in town hall?
Well, they have to provide training. They, the installation generally goes within a week. They can be done in their entirety.
So by the end of October?
One of the things they're pacing town hall and getting it started was the T1 line. That's when Peter has to be.
And that's what's the install is next week, is they're getting that T1 line installed. We did have a telephone outage at Town Hall. Residents may have tried to reach us.
Yeah, there
because
was.
busy lines. That was not Town Hall. There was a failure of Verizon's cable out at the intersection of Lowell Road and Main Street. And they were out there for a number of days. Not only affected Town Hall, but it affected a number of businesses and residents in this part of town. So regardless of whether we had a new phone system or not, that failure would have been something that would happen.
So we didn't just take the phone off.
No, we didn't take the phone off the hook. And I think most of the people were pretty good. It's the beauty of email and cell phones. If people need to reach you, they can call you on your cell phone. Last on my list is an update on the fiscal 2009 budget process. It seems like it's a long ways away. We just had a fiscal year 2008. But we've already begun looking at 2009, which is the year beginning on July 1 of 2008, and it runs through June 30th of 2009. Budget forms will be distributed to department heads next month. The fiscal 2007 and 2008 revenues are being reviewed right now by the finance department. And what the purpose of that is to establish some type of guidelines based upon trends and what we think our revenue growth will be. I'll be back in touch with the board with some recommendations in terms of guidelines and have discussion with you about that. Those guidelines will then be incorporated into the packet that gets distributed out to the departments. Department budgets will be due in on November 13th. I believe that's the Tuesday after Veterans Day. And Town Hall will be closed on Monday the 12th, which is in honor of Veterans Day. Internal budget review takes place until mid-December, and I will present my recommendations to you at your meeting on December 17th. That's a date that's cast in concrete. I have to get you the budget by mid-December. Everything else works around that number, so you will have my budget recommendations no later than December 17th.